Pause the bare naked ladies. Hair check. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spill the Tea with Bougie Miles. Today, I am joined by Dustin from Waller's Wallet. Dustin, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do in this world.
Absolutely. So first of all, thanks for having me on the channel. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
I have a YouTube channel called Waller's Wallet where I talk credit cards, points, rewards, how to use your points. Recently just started a podcast talking more about the travel aspect of using your points and just kind of giving people travel inspiration. But that's really where I'm at. I'm big on the YouTube and now getting into podcasting.
So basically you need to subscribe to both of our channels because I really need subscribers and you need to see his stuff because it's pretty awesome. We'll talk about a few of his videos later on. But anyway, thank you so much for coming and let's get into it. All right.
Absolutely. Let's get to it.
So I like to call this section rapid fire.
Okay.
I'll just ask you a whole bunch of questions. You answer with one word, or if you want to give, anecdotes, that's fine too.
Okay.
So the first thing, the absolute most important thing is, what are you watching on Netflix?
I actually don't watch a whole lot of Netflix, but we recently just finished up Tiger King. Tiger King.
Yeah.
And Carol Baskin totally killed her husband. Totally killed him.
You really think so?
Oh, totally. There's no doubt in my mind.
I'm not sure. Okay, so everybody who's mentioned Tiger King gets this unfortunate follow-up question.
Okay.
Which character would you be?
Oh, that's a good one.
I know. I was watching an Instagram live with travel fanboy Adam and the Better Life Tim, and somebody asked him that, and I said I'm stealing that for my show because it's excellent.
Oh man, if I had to be one, I'd probably be the what's the guy's name? I'd probably be the guy with no legs because he has like really who has the.
No. He's the easy character. No, you have to pick like one of these like creepy owners.
Creepy owners?
Yeah.
Probably the guy with the lemur on the jet ski. He just is like mysterious. You don't know what he does, but he's involved in something. If I had to be one of the shady characters, I'd probably be who I'd be. I'm not Joe Exotic level.
Right. Is he the one with the multiple wives? The lemur on the jet ski?
No, that's Don. I think, was it Don or Doc, Doc or whatever the hell his name is?
Doc, Doc has lots of wives.
Although I would love to ride an elephant. So that if I owned an elephant, I would totally ride one. So I'm a little jealous he has an elephant, but he definitely seems like a weird guy to me.
Was there any shortage of weirdness there?
No.
Two things about that. Number one, don't ride animals when you go to foreign places, people, because it's animal abuse. Sorry to get on my soapbox.
No, I wouldn't do it. It's funny when we've been to certain places, you'll see the animals and you can get pictures with monkeys or baby tigers, and we stay away from that because we're usually like sedated or something's going on. We stay away from that, and it's just always really sad to see the animals in that state.
Oh God, I hate it. Yeah. Also, number two, I would be the psycho Carol Baskin. I happen to be an animal rescue person, weirdo.
So I'm going to start calling you Carol Baskins.
Yeah, you might as well. But that's a good answer. A lot of people have said Joe Exotic, which I thought was interesting. But
no, I don't think I'm that. I'm definitely not Joe Exotic level.
I mean, if I get I would want to be anybody but him, I think.
Right.
I don't know. Okay. So continuing on, since there's only so much that people can listen to about Tiger King.
Yeah.
What is your favorite domestic airline to redeem points on?
For me, I'm based out of Bangor. So for me, actually, Delta SkyMiles works really well. Although I know you can use Virgin Atlantic, but for me, Delta SkyMiles has actually have done really well for me domestically.
Interesting. I feel like a lot of people feel like that. What about international?
International, United's been really good for me, using them on partner airlines. Yeah, I've had some good ones with some of the flash sales from Delta, but United miles on partners have been pretty good as well.
Okay. Would it shock you to know that I've never booked a flight with United Miles?
Yes, that would shock me. Because you're based out of New York, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that would shock me.
Yep, that's a true story. I have no interest in United partner miles.
Oh, see,
airline, nothing. I feel like they're so aggravating.
I had an issue with United with the whole COVID, outbreak right now. They weren't returning miles, and then calling and Twittering, and finally they started returning miles to account. So I had to cancel a trip to Poland and Romania back for March. So I have 120,000 United miles in my account. I just want to burn them and get rid of them because I was really frustrated with how they handled that situation.
Yep. So from being in the miles and point space and having so many friends and, reading so many things, and it just seems like if there's a headache to be talked about, it's using United miles. And at this point in life, I've decided, you know what? I have way too many miles and points in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay away from those because they might be a great value, but I'd rather spend 10K more somewhere else and just have easy redemption. Because let's be honest, time is money too.
Absolutely. And their redemptions are good in the sense of there's no fuel surcharges, but Avianca, I feel, is still really good in comparison for those premium class cabins and even for some domestic legs. So for me, United miles are good, but they're really only good because there's low fuel surcharges, and I'm usually an economy flyer. So that's where they get their value from me. But
100%. Yeah, that, and they treat their elites like garbage. I mean, I don't think American is so much better,
right?
But like right now, I cashed in American top tier, for Delta Silver because I ended up not being able to take the last flight I was supposed to take to get.
Okay.
But it's fine because I'm okay with the idea of like being silver for a year, upgrading myself, and then just rolling over the elite qualifying miles, right?
I don't think you'll have any issues coming forward just because of the fact I feel like travel is going to be hard for people to get back into. So you're going to have a really good opportunity to get those upgrades even in silver. And while I understand Delta's program's not perfect, it's not, perfect at all. The way they treat people is outstanding. Their customer service level. So I had said a while back that when United and American Airlines were going to go dynamic, or the rumors of them going dynamic, pretty much to match Delta, at that point, it all came to customer service. Because if all your points are worth 1.2 cents per point dynamically, or whatever they're worth, it came to customer service. And I don't feel either United or American sniff the jockstrap of Delta when it comes to their customer service level.
Feel that. I couldn't agree with you more. Is there another airline that you feel matches the customer service level of Delta?
I've had really good experience with Southwest.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I've never flown Southwest. It happens to be a bougie principle.
Okay.
I think at one point I'm going to do a video like where I actually fly Southwest, and it'll be like, oh, I don't know what this is.
I've flown JetBlue once, and JetBlue was really, really great. I actually flew out of my way. Like I made sure, I spent a little bit more miles to try them, actually coming back from Vegas. Okay. And
did you fly Mint or you just did regular?
I don't fly up front. I've only flown up front, I think 2 or 3 times in my life. I'm 5'5". I can fit in a carry-on suitcase with not a problem.
Dustin, you're going to be my guest on a flight. That's it. We're going to have to.
I have to go to, it might be canceled, but I'm going to FinCon later this year. But it seems like it may be canceled. But I've currently.
DC though?
No, it's in Long Beach this year.
Oh, so that's a good one. You come here, I'll fly you to California, and we'll fly. Yeah. When is it? It's usually in September.
End of September, early October. I think it's going to get canceled though. That's kind of my hunch. They haven't canceled it yet, but the way things are feeling, it feels like it's going to get canceled. I'm hoping not.
Right. Well, if it doesn't, upgrades on me. We'll get really drunk, but we'll go the day before.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, yes. So I agree. JetBlue.
Yep. But those have been the big ones. I feel like those are the big ones for me.
Okay. Favorite transferable currency?
I would say American Express points, membership rewards. I just like the opportunities, the number of airlines they have in there. I know everyone jumps on the Chase Ultimate Reward bandwagon. I think Chase, I've said this before on my channel, is a glorified cashback program now.
Interesting.
Because if you look, you have United and Hyatt. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is either on another flexible currency as part of someone else, And it's just not, I mean, you have Southwest, but the uplift from the reserve at 1.5 cents per point, I feel like I've seen more people go that route. And if you're going that route, it's a fixed currency. And if Hyatt left Chase today, would anybody really be as interested in ultimate reward points? There's only so long people can hold on to Hyatt. Membership rewards.
Such a good point that I don't think I've ever heard anybody bring up.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If American Express, let's just say American Express, came in and swiped Hyatt from Chase, would anybody talk about Chase anymore?
No.
You know what I mean? Like Hyatt is the moneymaker for the ultimate reward points because of the fact they're so good. And I'm going to knock on wood, hope it doesn't happen. If Hyatt goes like to a Hilton level of dynamic pricing, who cares?
Yeah.
So for me, American Express points, membership reward points, just for the sheer number of airline partners and opportunities, there's some really good value in those points.
Interesting. You're the first person I've ever heard who says they're an economy flyer, but also likes membership rewards best, because like I like membership rewards best because I use the 35% cashback rebate for the Amex business card,
Right.
Amex Platinum.
Right.
But you are definitely the first person who has chosen them based on transfer partners.
I have, because there is value. I mean, for example, I've had good luck with Delta. Aeroplan can still give really good value if you pick the right alliance partner. You know, Swiss Airlines, for example. I love the fact with Aeroplan you can have a domestic stopover in the U.S. You know, you don't get that with United. You know, and there's some good options there. So for me, I still get good value as a coach flyer transferring my points with membership rewards.
Yeah, sounds smart to me. So that actually touches on something else I wanted to discuss with you. And now I remember what it was. At the beginning of the show, I told you I didn't remember, but I do now. So you did a video about how Hilton proactively extended status until, I don't know, like 2030. Right.
Right.
And basically they gave it to everybody, like no holds barred, which basically also means that everybody who has their premium cards or a platinum card or a founder's card or anything also has status until, 2020.
To the end of time.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think now? Obviously, a lot of the hotel programs and airlines have followed suit.
Right.
What do you see this as a positive, or do you see it as a negative for frequent travelers who actually earn the status?
The real way, the hard way.
Yeah.
I really feel air companies, the credit cards, I mean, the Aspire card, I have diamond status for as long as I hold the card.
Yeah.
For someone who spends, how was it, 100 nights a year, whatever it is to earn diamond status, I would be pretty pissed.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually earning it.
Right.
So the credit card benefits really, I think, alter what loyalty means. And to me, I don't think loyalty is as prominent as what it's made to feel.
Right.
So, if I'm someone who earns it the hard way, and I'm looked at no differently than someone who has the Hyatt credit card or the Platinum card, I'm a bit upset about this, but I understand why the companies are doing this. When this is all said and over, they need people to fill those seats on the planes. And so you don't want to piss anybody off by saying, yeah, you couldn't travel for 6 months. Not my problem. And that's just a really good way to piss people off. So, but if you're actually earning it, I'd be really upset.
Yeah. It almost sort of feels to me like like the lowest level status is basically just base status at this point, Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago when Hyatt, I don't know if you remember, Hyatt gave out, it was diamond status at the time. Basically everyone. They had the Twitter reached out. Yeah. I matched with IHG Platinum.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and they gave me diamond status for the rest of the year and some, and I got to use the suite upgrades. If I had actually earned Hyatt diamond status and they gave it away to a platinum member on the IHG program, how can you not be furious with that? Like,
yeah.
Because there's no differentiating. You'd be like, well, you actually earned it and you just got it luckily.
Right. It's like, that's why I ended up giving up executive platinum with AA because I earned it. And then they gave it to every single Hyatt globalist that I know, at least. And I think pretty much everyone ever. And I was like, where am I going to be on the upgrade list? Like, I'm never going to have that, so I might as well put my efforts into Delta and actually go like Diamond, which they don't actually ever really give away, and they don't give any shortcuts. Like, I think on the credit card for Delta to get a waiver, you have to spend $250 now.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
And most people aren't spending that.
Exactly. So I feel comfortable putting my cash spend there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, if American had never given every single Hyatt globalist top tier status, I never would have felt that way. But I feel like it's almost like a tragedy of the commons situation where, like, if we all have it, we're all using it, it's lessening the benefits for others. And I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. And it's a good thing, like, on the parts of, like, the airlines and the hotels to be giving away free things. However, it does diminish the benefits for higher level.
Absolutely. If everyone has a benefit, nobody has a benefit.
Well, exactly.
Yes. So it's tough though, because people who actually earn it aren't seeing any different. And people I'd seen people on Twitter who actually have status who aren't getting upgrades cleared because airlines are now selling it, so people are paying for it. So you're not even getting your upgrades anymore. So loyalty is a very clouded judgment. I feel that it's not as loyalty is a one-way road. I really do feel with companies, and it's not reciprocated.
So do you ever go after loyalty or?
No, I don't. I actually keep my Hilton Aspire card because I don't know what happened, but when I upgraded from the Surpass or the Surpass card to the Aspire card, they kept my annual fee at $95. So it's a no-brainer to keep until they change that fee.
Sure.
But I don't go out of my way I'm a free agent. I go to the best airline for my need or hotel, or I'm a big Airbnb fan too. So, so for me, it's, I go where the best deal is. I don't let loyalty cloud me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. At least for hotels, I'm very much free agent. Like, I want to stay. I love the Four Seasons. There's no loyalty program there.
Right.
So I'm using my like Chase points or my Amex points to book like FHR or luxury hotels and resorts or whatnot. Well, not usually luxury hotels and resorts, but you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
Yes. Okay. So you recently did a video that caught my eye because I thought it was really interesting in that we don't necessarily talk enough about what we spend our money on in this hobby. Right. We tend to talk about like, how many miles and points you earn per dollar, but I enjoyed your fresh take on budgeting. And I was wondering if you would give us a couple of, like hints and tips that you shared in your video.
Sure. So one thing I don't think people talk about in the points on miles game is budgeting. We always, like you said, we always talk about, how to earn 5 points per dollar at grocery stores and whatnot. But I think where people get themselves in trouble who think they can handle this game is that they say, well, they don't realize they're earning pennies and spending dollars. Mm-hmm. So it's great to earn 5 points per dollar and you might be able to say, I get, 2 cents back at them, whatever it may be. If you don't know where your money's going to begin with, then it's really hard to know if you're overspending or not. And I know I preach this, and I know you do as well. Like, you don't overspend for credit card rewards. There's no reason for it, because if you're overspending, you're not really traveling for less, or however people say travel for free or whatever. So it's definitely knowing where your money's coming in and out to be able to know that, okay, I spend, $400 a month at grocery stores. Okay, great. But if you're spending, $2,000 a month at the grocery store just for points and throwing a bunch of stuff out and whatnot, then it's not benefiting yourself.
Yeah, that would be stupid. Don't do
that. So I just don't think, and it's something I've noticed too, just people don't tend to understand budgets as a whole. And they just kind of, well, I make, $20 today. I'm going to go spend I'm going to go spend 21 of it or 20 of it because I make it tomorrow. They don't plan out where the money's going.
Right. So, what was that principle? It was like, what was the number? What were the numbers? It was like 30, 20.
Oh, the 50, 30, 20 budget.
Okay. Yes. So can you tell us about that?
Yep. So 50% go towards your needs, or like your rent, your bills, student loan payments. Like essentials. Yes, your essentials. 20% goes to savings and 30% goes to your wants. So you want to travel. That's in your 30%. You know what I mean? I like, paying for my mortgage. That is a, that 30% is a want, for this is a need, paying for my mortgage. And then a required minimum 20% for savings. So, rainy day fund, if you can, I understand people have different situations, but being able to put money away helps save for those rainy day funds. If, your furnace breaks in your house and it's going to cost, $5,000, having the money on hand makes things a lot less stressful when you're going, oh crap, how am I going to pay for that? Definitely get a new card to earn the bonus if you can, but, have the cash in the bank to help, if you can, help take care of those situations.
So that's an interesting thing. I actually saw a video that you did recently where you talked about like cashing in points for X amount of dollars and, why it's not necessarily like a good idea. Mm-hmm. But in certain situations, it can be a good idea because like you need the money, right? It's available to you at whatever, and it saves you from having to spend elsewhere where like it really doesn't make sense, right?
Absolutely.
So, funny story, I accidentally paid my mortgage 3 times in 1 month. And all of a sudden I went into my account and realized it was negative. And I was like, someone's going to kill me if they realize this account is negative.
Right.
So I may have cashed in, and professional travel blogger, right? So it can happen to anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
I may have cashed in a couple 100,000 chase points into cash just to get myself out of a sticky situation.
Oh, give me your travel blogger card. That you can't do that. That's out of here.
It's not right.
Right.
Right. And so now I realize that in this situation that we're in, people are definitely breaking the rules. And I actually think they're doing it justifiably.
Agreed.
So you talked about a little bit about how, like you may not cash in your points for X, Y, and Z redemption dollars, but it might be a good idea right now. Do you have any wisdom to share about that?
I think one thing is we as like travel people in the points thing, you always have to get the maximum value. If you're not getting, 3.5 cents per point for your points, you don't redeem, you pay cash. And I don't necessarily agree with that in the sense of, they are a currency and they devalue so fast. I mean, look at your airline miles. If you were holding a bunch, I think Hilton points were getting ready to devalue again because they just sold $1 billion in points. So sitting on hundreds of thousands of chase points when you can't travel, we'll get back to traveling. But if you have a need, it makes sense because it is still a currency. You know what I mean? It still has monetary value. And so you might not redeem them at max potential, but it's the potential of points people are looking at, not the actual valuation of them. Right. And they have no value. Who is it? It was Frequent Flyer a long time ago. I'd seen it, and he had a great tweet on it. Like, your points are nothing. They have no value until redeemed. Right. And it's so true. Like, I have like 400,000 membership reward points right now. They're worth, $6,000. But they're worth 0 right now. Membership award comes and cancels my account. I don't have $6,000 in my account. You know what I mean? So, yep. So I totally, people are breaking the rules justifiably. You know what I mean? They're investing their points as opposed to letting it sit there, or you know what? They have to put food on the table somehow. You might as well cash in your membership reward points at 0.7 cents per point and live with the idea that, you can, pay your bills.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, what's the opportunity cost, right? So It's basically, let's say I take these Chase Ultimate Rewards and I cash them in for 1 cent a piece, right? Right. If I lost my job or I'm waiting for a stimulus check or, who knows what, I could probably rack up some high interest debt on another credit card where I'm paying 20 or 25%.
Right.
Or I could just, lose the 20% that I would be redeeming them for in the first place and know that their points, you'll earn them back.
Absolutely. I think that's one thing we forget. We can always earn more points. Mm-hmm. There's always another sign-up bonus. There's always another promotion. I mean, I don't know, Amazon, right now with membership reward points, I'm earning an extra 5 points per dollar.
Yeah.
It's easy to rack up points. And I think we tend to forget that. I love that.
Oh my God, me too.
I just
counts. I was like, yes.
I got to put it on my wife's card too, because I have her authorized user card on mine. So I stacked on the same card. I'm like, this is great.
It's awesome. Yeah. And Amazon is one of those things. It's like everything,
Everyone needs Amazon in their life.
Exactly. Yeah. How many Amazon? Oh, whoa. I just learned something yesterday that blew my mind.
Okay.
When Alexa turns yellow.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
No.
I thought it meant she was listening. And like,
probably is listening.
You said, oh, she's definitely listening. But I thought yellow was like, hey, I'm listening to you and I know what you said. Mm. It means you got a package.
Really? Oh, I did not know that. That's good to know.
I'm so excited.
I would never have known that. I totally think they're still listening, but I would never have known that it meant package.
Yep, package. I don't know why she doesn't tell you that the first time. Hey, when I turn yellow, you've got a package.
Package.
Hey, I'm Googling everything you're saying to let you, right? Like, that's what she's doing. Whenever she goes yellow, I'm like, oh, Alexa, Oh, there she is. Oh, anyway.
There's something for me.
Yeah. So now I know yellow is a good thing.
That is good to know.
Okay. So another one of your videos that I watched, huge fan.
Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Total stalker. No. So I saw you say something really interesting that I think that is lost on a lot of people. And it's about comparing the value of cashback and the value of points. Well, flexible currencies mostly. And I was hoping that you could explain that to the viewers because it was one of the most novel takes I've heard on this situation.
Sure. So I think what happens is we in the points and miles game, we look at flexible currency, and I think people look at those as a vacuum, right? So they look at it as I'm earning membership rewards. My American Express Gold card, it earns 4 points per dollar, industry best, right? On, dining and groceries, which is great. It's a fantastic earning rate. And, I think the card is fantastic. But where people, I think, tend to fall off is that they don't look at the next best option for cash back. So, for example, you have the gold card, 4x on groceries and dining. We'll just take groceries. Well, I can earn 3% daily with the Blue Cash Everyday card. So when you start comparing that, or, you start looking, Discover's 5%, at least once a year for a quarter, and the Freedom is once per quarter. So six months out of the year, you can earn 5% cash back. So you have to look at the opportunity of those and compare it to the value of those points. As a coach flyer, I value membership reward points about 1.5 cents per point. I'm happy with that. Mm-hmm. So when I start running the numbers, it takes a lot of spend when you account for the annual fees on those cards to make those cards worth it. People just tend to look at the points and not compare it. So like my day-to-day is a cash back rotation. I think some people are shocked to hear that because they're like, you're a points guy, and I am, but my day-to-day, when I compare it, I have the Altitude Reserve. That's probably one of my bigger cards that I do use. But outside of that, it's, I have, Bank of America cards I run, Freedom, Discover cards, just because the fees on some of the cards just don't make sense for me financially.
Yeah. Are you so shocked by people who don't actually take that $295 and subtract it off of the rewards? It's like, it's such a simple calculation that seems to escape people. And I guess it kind of blows my mind.
I think because it takes away from the value. When someone says like, oh, I'm traveling for free, and I'm like, I get it. We travel very heavily discounted, but that free night on your Hyatt credit card, it still costs you $75. Yeah. The value you get exceeds the cost. No argument. But anything in the game is rarely free. Even I take like the Sapphire Preferred, for example. I got 60,000 points. You paid $95 for the card. Super cheap, totally worth the cost, but you still paid for it. I think that if it's not for free, it doesn't sound good for Instagram.
Right, of course. So I have a rule. If it's under $100, it's free.
Okay.
The rest of the cards is when, I'm not paying attention to the $95 annual fees.
Mhm.
because they're so minimal. If I'm getting any sort of benefit, I'm cool with it, right?
Right.
Especially a sign-up bonus. But when we're talking anything over 95 or $100, I'm subtracting that from the rewards and hopefully looking at a little bit of a budget.
Mhm.
I'm not so good at that, but I know other people are. And then basically just like, so my best friend messaged me a while back and she said, I really want to get the gold card. And I said, do you spend, I forget what the number was, we'll say $8,000 a year on groceries? Because
Right.
otherwise it doesn't make sense for you because you would have to make up this amount for the annual fee.
Right.
Over like, let's say a Bank of America preferred card or Bank of America cash rewards.
Right.
And then if you have the preferred, which is one of the easiest programs to have because they let you roll over into your 401k.
Oh, I love it. It's a great.
Right? And most of them don't do that. So then you're earning 5.5% cash back on like online transactions, which can include like Fresh Direct or whoever.
Yeah.
That's how I've gotten basically like 5.5% cash back on everything I ever spend because I buy it all online. And luckily Bank of America has been very generous in that respect.
Oh, they're very generous. I love them. I have the preferred rewards and a couple cash reward cards. They're part of my daily drivers. It's a no-brainer. And I feel like people don't look at that. And it's like because I feel like what happens is people look at like, you know, the bloggers and the YouTubers, and we're talking about American Express cards, and it's like,
so sexy.
Yeah, it's the sexy thing. Nobody wants to be like, well, I'm earning 3.5% cash back. Like, it doesn't sound as sexy as like, well, I redeemed 30,000 points for that flight. This doesn't sound, it's not the sexy choice.
Yeah, totally. Sexy sells, right? I mean,
Yep.
But, like, especially right now when we're in the middle of where I think probably everybody's future is uncertain. We don't really know what's going to happen from here. People are losing their jobs who never even imagined.
Yeah. It's crazy right now.
Trouble, right? And then also in our business,
it's been a rough year so far.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to all of you guys who are actually making money doing this. Luckily, Bougie Miles is just starting out. So
you'll come out of this stronger when it's all said and done.
Well, that's actually kind of what I think is going to end up happening because a lot of people are going to have to shift. And I'm just going to keep doing what I was
going to keep doing Bougie.
To do. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's not what this is about. It's more just about like the uncertainty. And even I switched my strategy to a bit more cash back because like, what do I need my Amex points for right now? I have too many, like as it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cashback is just ultimate flexibility, and
cash is king, baby.
Cash is king, and when travel comes back, our airline's going to really price gouge people to get people in the seats. I think.
Are you booking travel right now?
I'm not. I have a flight that says still on track to leave May 1st to Toronto, but Hyatt canceled my reservation, and American keeps changing the flight, so it's not flying. But I'm kind of on pause because I was going to start booking for the fall, but I was reading that, Europe might be closing off through September. I have this wonder if other countries are going to kind of restrict or quarantine Americans coming in just because of if we start seeing a spike again, if they start trying to reopen things. I have no idea. So I'm kind of waiting to see what other countries do at first. And so I'm not booking anything yet. I'm itching to book, itching hard to book.
Hard.
But I'm impatiently being patient.
So one thing I would say, if you do have any like even tentative or like potential plans where you might be able to book something that's coming up soon, American mileage awards are kind of like this like basket of amazing things right now.
It's a basket of goodies. Yeah, I agree.
But in this one small situation, we actually have an opportunity that we didn't have before with like the vouchers and stuff like that.
Right.
Because they're giving us like free, like book the cheapest rate, but we may have to cancel it anyway. So it's going to be free.
Yeah.
That's the one situation. But anyway, enough about that. Okay. So let's do a bet.
Okay.
So I was thinking like $25. Winner gets $25 donated to their charity.
Okay.
What's your charity?
We'll do St. Jude's.
St. Jude's is a good one. Mine is East Coast Canine Rescue. They are based out of Connecticut. I've fostered for them. They're wonderful people, and they are pulling dogs from shelters every single day.
Okay.
Adoption shop. Okay. Dustin, do you have a pet?
I have 2 cats.
I
do.
I actually like cats better than dogs, but
It's easier for travel.
I don't want to be Carol, you know?
Yeah, it's easier. Cats are easier for travel. You leave them food, clean their litter, you leave off. Dogs take more work.
Oh, my cats would never have anything to do with that. But but it is much more likely for cats. So I think that's and you have 2, so they keep each other.
I do.
Awesome.
One is like a panther. He's huge. He's like 24 pounds, but he's like 4 feet long.
Oh, oh my God, you're gonna have to send me a picture. I had a 30-pound cat.
My God, his name's Caesar, and he's a big cat.
Wait, okay, so can you send a picture for the video?
Oh yeah, I
need to see a picture.
I can send you a picture of both cats.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
But the big cat for sure.
Okay, big cat for sure.
Okay, so I'm thinking. At first, I was thinking we might play CeeLo, but I think that might take a while. So what if we did like highest dice roll, best out of 3, 25.
Okay. Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, and I know that you found a dice app.
Yes. Are we doing highest 3 rolls sum?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I trust you. No, it's going to be best out of 3.
Best out of 3. Okay.
So like, not the sum. You understand, right?
Yeah. How many dice are we doing? Are we doing 1 dice?
We're doing 1 dice.
Okay.
3 rolls.
All right. Let me change this one here. All right. Got my 1 dice in now.
Okay. So you ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Okay. Roll. I don't know how long mine's going to take compared to yours. Oh.
I got a 3.
I got a 5.
All right. You're up.
Bougie Miles 1. Okay. Ready?
Let's do it.
Go 2.
I got a 5.
2.
All right.
All right. So here we are. 1 up.
Come on, 6. Come on, 6.
3. Roll.
I got a 4.
I got a 1. You win. St. Jude's get $25.
There we go.
Damn it, 1. Come on, man. What am I gonna do here? All right.
It felt like LeBron in the finals, coming down from 1-0 to win it all.
Nonsense. Nonsense. Do you bet sports at all?
I did when I was in Vegas. I did some sport betting on some sports,
All right.
but not typically.
Golf fan at all?
Golf fan? I used to watch a lot back when Tiger was like Tiger.
You mean like now?
When he still got it when he wants it, but he was dominant when he was younger, and it was impressive to watch.
True that. So I ask you 3 questions. You get to not answer one of them.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So we'll start with the softball.
Okay.
Don't plead the 5th on this one.
Okay.
So other than you, who is the most knowledgeable, best blogger, podcaster, YouTuber, influencer of all time?
Oh, most knowledgeable?
I mean, it could be like, who do you think is the best?
There's so many good ones.
That's why it's hard.
I'll break this up. For YouTube, it's probably Sebastian from Ask Sebi.
Okay.
Because he is probably like the guy for YouTube credit cards. For blogging, I really like, oh man, this is tough. I like how I do like Spencer Howard and how he breaks down his premium cabin, his newsletter. I think he's very good at what he does. He's got that mind to look at it. And then, I like Joe and Trevor on the podcasting over at Savorosity.
Oh,
I think they're great. Joe's awesome. He I feel like every time I've talked to him before about Disney, he turns into like a kid at Christmas, it feels like.
Those guys and their Disney, man.
For me, I don't understand it, but you know what? I'm not going to knock it because they love it. So that's.
I mean, I don't have kids, so for me, it's easy to understand why I don't, I'm not interested, but I mean, I don't know. Some of them, like Sean and Joe, they are so hard on Disney that there's got to be something amazing about it. I just don't know exactly.
You and me both.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2.
All right.
This one is a popular one for people to plead the fifth on. What blog is a pandemic all on their own? It could be blog, blogger, team, whatever it is. Who's just the freaking worst? And it could be YouTube. It could be whatever you want. Any entity.
Oh man. I'm going to go TPG.
All right.
And the reason why is I years ago when I first got into blogging, I thought it was a good source of information. And over time, I think they put out, there's only a couple people I think that I would think worth reading. Mm-hmm. The rest is lacking. There's an understanding of pushing credit cards, and I get that because they have bills to pay, but they just lack substance on a lot of stuff, I feel.
So what's interesting is that you are the first person who's not in direct competition with TPG TPG is not competition for anyone, right? Because they're doing their own thing.
We're all chasing him, right?
Right, exactly. So they're the king of like this space.
Right.
But everybody who could potentially have any kind of like influence from TPG has obviously wanted to say it, but chosen to plead the fifth. And I'm super happy that we finally had somebody who has zero competition with TPG. And
yeah, I mean, I can respect what he's done in the sense of what he's made for himself, but I just feel like it's no longer what it was. It's just a name.
I think it's like awesome. Like I was telling you before, like, if I ever get the chance to have somebody pay for my Hamptons house on credit card rewards, I'm going to say whatever people need to hear.
Absolutely.
But we're very far from that, and I will definitely let you guys know.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 3, Shad, marry, kill.
I'm probably just, let's make it easy. I'm going to take the fifth on this one.
All right. Well, there you go. So I don't have to come up with people since we know we can take the fifth anyway.
Yes.
Perfect. So Dustin, tell everybody where we can find you and what to follow.
Sure. You can find me on YouTube at Waller's Wallet. The podcast is Waller's Wallet. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Waller's Wallet. My most active social media is probably Twitter, although I am pretty active in my Facebook group. And, videos come 2 to 3 times a week, and podcasts are launching every other Wednesday.
2 to 3 times a week. That's pretty amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. And
thanks for having me.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. And hopefully you had a good time, because I know I did.
I had a great time. Thank you so much for having me.